girls. Thanks for joining me again. I have another special book to share with you in celebration of Women's History Month. It's a pretty long book and it has many different famous women in history who've really supported women's rights. I'm going to share with you 3 of them. This is She Persisted Around the World. It actually has 13 different women. And this one's written by Chelsea Clinton and illustrated by Alexandria Boyger. Grab the first page here. It's not always easy being a girl anywhere in the world. It's especially challenging in some places. There are countries where it's hard for girls to go to school and where women need their husband's permission to get a passport or even to leave the house. And all over the world, girls are more likely to be told to be quiet, to sit down, to have smaller dreams. Don't listen to those words. These 13 women from across the world didn't. They persisted. At the time, Sor Juana Inez de la Cruz was growing up in Mexico. Most girls did not go to school. After reading and studying on her own, Juana Inez asked her family if she could disguise herself as a boy so she could go to university. They said no. She persisted, finding tutors who didn't mind teaching a girl, and then became a nun in part so that she could focus on her studies and writing. Sor Juana Inez poems and plays are still celebrated today, and her Respuesta a Sor Felotia de la Cruz was the first published argument for a woman's right to education in the Americas. This one is great because it focuses on science. Growing up in Poland, Marie Curie knew that because she was a girl, she would have to leave her country to go to college. She persisted, moving to France to pursue her dream of being a scientist. Her work in radioactivity, the way that some materials give off energy, led to her becoming the first woman awarded a Nobel Prize in physics. A few years later, she discovered 2 new elements, one of which she named polonium after her home country. For that work, she won her 2nd Nobel Prize in chemistry. She was the first person in the world, man or woman, to receive 2 Nobel Prizes. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Civil war erupted in Liberia when Lema Gbowie had just finished high school. Living through the war inspired Lema to become a trauma counselor to help other children affected by conflict. When civil war broke out again years later, Lema knew she didn't want to simply live through it this time or help the victims afterward. She wanted to help end it. She persisted, bringing together thousands of Liberian Christian and Muslim women to peacefully protest the violence. Their efforts helped end the war and led to safe, free elections in which Liberia elected its first woman president. For her work, Lema was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize. The more I did, the more I could do, the more I wanted to do. The more I saw needed to be done. Boys and girls, if you would like to read more about famous women, there are 13 altogether, so that's 10 other women you could read about. You can check this book out from your library. Thanks for listening.